Now, 3 minutes of Alex as a vegan not sounding at all like a vegan.
I guess I'm a bit more relaxed than most vegans, and I don't even like using the word vegan. Some argument to be made that if you did have an animal who lived a perfectly good life, potentially a net positive life, so it's a good thing that they came into existence, and then you killed them genuinely painlessly, that not only is this something that you're kind of allowed to do to not be a vegan, but according to this definition of veganism, that would be a vegan thing to do because it wouldn't be causing any animal suffering.
And so if by shooting that elk, I'm going to cause less animal suffering and less animals are going to die as well, then I think that that's the right thing to do. Whether or not that's the vegan thing to do is another question.
I mean, it might be the case that it is actually better for the animal to bring them into existence and then kill them. I'm actually quite sympathetic to the view that if they genuinely have a net positive existence and that existence is parasitic on the idea that they will be killed eventually, that might actually be good for the animal, probably is good for the animal.
I don't just think that it's permissible to not partake in activism. In some cases, I think it might be mandatory to not participate in vegan activism.
Yeah, I've been exploring this idea, thinking like, is it really the best response to the problem of factory farming? Hey, let's just stop paying for this to happen. Well, maybe it's useful to do that, but that might not be like the answer. That's not like, this is what we need to do to solve the problem. It might be a more, let's say, economically informed position.
What? You crazy, who told you that?
You're debating somebody trying to convince them of veganism. If you don't actually think, genuinely believe that you might come out of that conversation no longer vegan, then something's gone wrong there. And you're not really dedicated to the conversation.
Did you just hear yourself?
And so not only, if you're in a situation where you need to eat this stuff to survive, not only do I think you can break your veganism and, you know, eat those animals, I think you can eat those animals and still call yourself a vegan. Because, yeah, sure, you're responsible for some animal death, but so am I. As long as you're contributing the least amount that you practically can to animal suffering, I think you can call yourself a vegan.
Oh.
If you actually need animal products to be healthy, then not only can you break your veganism, but you can eat animal products and still call yourself a vegan. Although I wouldn't do it if I were you, because it comes with a lot of social baggage.
Now, 3 minutes of Alex being a total hypocrite.
And I don't have any serious allergies or anything like that. Although I guess I'm pretty optimistic about the idea of a plant-based diet being nutritionally adequate.
It is absolutely true that every single nutrient you need can be achieved on a vegan diet. It's one of the easiest things to do. The only thing that gives us what we need from the food that we eat are the nutrients contained within them, and we can prove that all the nutrients you need to survive, and not only survive but be healthy, can be achieved on a vegan diet with quite considerable ease, in fact. And what we do to them in factory farms is in no way justified. What we do know for certain is that being a vegan is healthy, right? That's one thing we do know.
But I know it is healthy. I know that all of the nutritional science tells me that I can be a healthy vegan.
But then you forfeit your right to criticize other people for participating in their injustices. Who are you to say, you shouldn't be doing this to your fellow creature, you shouldn't be doing this to me, when you're willing to say, I know that I'm participating in an industry of exploitation, but I guess I just love cheese so much. It's cute, but it's like sometimes we just need to say, grow up, right? If you think that an appropriate response to talking about torture of innocent beings, you think an appropriate response is to say bacon though, or to laugh it off with the reference that you just love cheese too much. I just don't think I can take you seriously as an ethical thinker.
When we're talking about veganism, it's very important not to be prideful about it. It's very important, like a lot of people like to say, I'm doing this for the animals. And that may be true, but constantly asserting that fact, you have to be very careful. And I'm doing this for the animals, and you're sort of promoting this. And people can tell if this is coming from a place of pride.
12 seconds later.
I've been a fan for you a long time, long before you started talking about veganism, But I saw your debate with Mikhail Peterson, and I was so disappointed.
What I was essentially going for was the kind of comment that says something like, man, I usually hate vegans, but this guy's all right, you know, something like that.
It's very important not to be prideful about it.
So it's almost like comedy.
Or imagine if you would still be doing what you were doing if everybody hated you for it. And not in a romantic way that you get a lot of hate, but people kind of like it because you're getting a lot of hate and you become a bit of a hero.